Welcome back to Pine City Apiary. Today we're going to do another installment of the 5 questions, and today we're talking to Southern Ark Homestead. She has a homestead in not in Arkansas as you might think, but in Louisiana actually at the moment. She has chickens, she's got a garden, and she also keeps some bees. She's building a top bar hive right now, and I am curious to see how that's working out and how that will work out for her moving forward. But let's go ahead and get into it. Nina, since the onset of CCD, there's been a big influx of people starting beekeeping and also former beekeepers returning. How long have you been a beekeeper, and did CCD have any influence on whether or not you were beekeeping?
I've been a beekeeper for, this is my 3rd year to keep bees. The CCD didn't necessarily have an impact on my personal beekeeping. What did have an impact was the need for prolific pollination of my garden. I didn't have a lot of bees around, and when I tried to get honey, it was so expensive that I decided to help my own garden. Instead of asking someone to bring their bees to leave them here, I decided to start my own hive, and I was only going to do one, but it kind of grew from there. So yeah, the pollination was the most important thing to me, because if you don't have pollination, you don't get vegetables.
Nina, what do you find most enjoyable about keeping bees?
What I find most enjoyable is the harvesting of the honey. The raw honey that you get from your own hive, the satisfaction in knowing that your own bees made that honey, and the taste is amazing. That and the pollination.
Okay, we covered the enjoyable part, but what do you dislike about keeping bees?
The thing that I find most challenging is being able to keep up with the swarms in the swarm season. Yeah, sometimes it gets overwhelming. Yeah. I've got videos on my channel where I had like 5 in one day. So I was scrambling to get all those taken care of. And then being able to have the strength to lift the supers when they are full, yeah, that's a thing. That is a thing. I find that the most challenging part of it all.
Nina, what challenges have you faced documenting your journey beekeeping and your other homestead activities with YouTube?
The major challenge that I find in documenting my journey with my bees is time. I work a full-time job, and everything that goes on both here in North Louisiana and on my property in South Arkansas is my responsibility to take care of. You know, you can have people say, oh, I'm going to help, but when it comes down to it, where are they? So that is the main challenge that I face. So far, I have not been able to conquer that, and I'm hoping that with the transfer of my big hive to a top bar beehive, it'll be less intensive and less strain on my time. In the wintertime, and it gets dark, and it's dark when I go to work, and it's dark when I get off. So Yeah. There's no working bees during that time period. So that is a major problem for me is time.
This question is probably my favorite question. What do you find that has fascinated you the most keeping bees?
For my own bees, what has surprised me the most is their durability. And also, in this part of the country, in my area, the amount of swarms that happen in any given time in the spring, a swarm can happen just like that. As a matter of fact, my own hives swarmed, and I was not able to catch that swarm because they got away from me and they were 40 feet up in a tree. So the quickness that a problem like that can occur. Another thing that surprises me with bees is the laying worker situation that you can have in a hive. I've had that problem and how hard that is to conquer. I was not able to save my hive that had a laying worker. I did everything that I could read about, that I could research. You know, I put fresh brood in there, not brood, fresh eggs. I put fresh eggs in there. You're supposed to do it for like 3 days in a row. We did it for like, I say we as in me and Spicy, because he was still here at that time. We did it for like 5 or 6 days in a row. I would rob fresh eggs from another hive and put in the laying worker hive. Still did not work. We bought a queen to put in that laying worker hive. Do you know that they balled on her? All those bees ganged up on that queen and killed her. So that was definitely a surprise to me, the resilience of the laying worker.
Nina, with your operation, especially the beekeeping part, knowing what you know now, what would you do different if you could go back and start over?
Something that I would do over. I think that I would begin with a top bar beehive because, you know, I'm a little older now and I'm not, you know, my strength is not what it should be. So if I had top bar beehives to begin with, I feel like I wouldn't feel as overwhelmed with this big beehive. So I think that is one thing that I would change, is I would start with a top bar beehive instead of the Langstroth hive. And another thing that I would change is if I didn't have a top bar beehive, I would not stack this beehive as high as I did. And that was, you know, a mistake on my part. They needed the space and it kept getting added to, and you let time and life and work and all that get away from you. So now I'm trying to recover from that. So that's one thing I would change. So I appreciate the chance to interview with you, and I hope everyone enjoys my responses. And that's it for me, and until next time, I'll see you later.
Nina, I'd like to thank you for the time that you took to do this 5 questions with me. I really do appreciate it. It would be very nice if the viewers from this video could go ahead and go over to Nina's site. I'll post it up here somewhere. There we go. Up here somewhere. And take a look at her stuff and follow along with her journey. If you like this video, please click the thumbs up, share it with your friends. If you haven't subscribed yet, please feel free to do so. Really appreciate that subscription and any comments or anything that you leave. Thank you very much. Have a great day.